Hello everyone, the doctor is in and I'm very excited to show you this test shot of Fansproject Severo. I want to thank the Chosen Prime for allowing me to review this test shot for you. This is obviously Fansproject version of Grimlock from Generation 1. And so I got a lot to cover, so I'll get right into it. I'm not sure if these will be the final colors of this. The gold on the claws seems to be a little bit different than the gold on the back and the neck here. But it does seem to be a pretty finalized version. As far as the features and articulation in this mode, the mouth does have pretty sharp teeth. It does open and close. It does have this cannon on the inside of the mouth there that is also movable. The neck has this big hinge joint here that has about that much range of motion. There is about 360 rotation there. The T-Rex arms are ball jointed at the shoulder, although you're limited to pretty much up and down like that. The elbow is on a hinge. The wrists actually do rotate as well, and the three fingers are on a single hinge joint together. As far as the legs, the hips will rotate 360. They're on a ball joint, but they're pretty limited as far as lateral motion. The knees are double jointed, and the ankles are on a hinge as well. Go to the back here in the tail. There is a little bit of motion here in the tail. It will go down, but it's more involved with transformation than it is with anything else. I'd say it looks pretty good. The detail's good. If I had to complain about this mode, I'd say the tail is probably a bit too short and chunky. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. He can stand in the traditional Grimlock upright position, as well as the more life-accurate T-Rex, or so we suppose anyway. He does hold poses quite well. In this mode also, we do have these cannons that will connect right there, and these will fit onto his back for a weaponized T-Rex. He also has his two weapon masters, Pateo and Kotav. Please don't quote me on the pronunciation of those. As far as I can tell, they are identical. So I'm going to show you one here. They do have these parts on the back that will come off to be part of the weapon. I'll get to that later. But as far as the transformation, we're going to take these guns off, and what we're going to start out with is grabbing the entire tail and the midsection of the T-Rex and separating it here. It's probably because it's new. You have to use quite a bit of force, and you want to open it until it clicks twice, like that. Then you're going to separate the tail like so, and you can rotate these legs kind of out of the way so that you can get some clearance. And then you're going to bend the tail down and then rotate the legs outwards and down like so. What we're going to do here is take this, which is going to become the Robotic Foot, and open it that way. We can also flip it around 180 degrees. We're going to rotate the half of the tail down into this this space here, and this hole will peg into this little peg here to kind of stabilize it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. There we go. And you're going to want to rotate the thighs 180 degrees. Next we'll come to the arms. We're going to extend them out. We're also going to want to rotate these at the bicep swivel 180. We're going to rotate the claw of the foot around and fold it back like so, and then take this back part of the toe here and flip it up to reveal the robot fist. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, then we'll come to the Dinobot head, and we're going to flip this whole section back, and it is double. There is a second joint that will fold back a little bit further. You're going to rotate the head 180 degrees, and then it will also allow you to open this section to reveal the head, and then open those out, or actually rotate those out to the side. And there is a peg in there that will peg into this gray piece here on both sides to kind of stabilize it. And that's the transformation. And actually also you can probably get these shoulder sections rotated up like so. And there is Severo in robot mode. Now his articulation in this mode, his head is ball jointed. We'll rotate 360. Is looking up is limited to that, and looking down to that. So there's not a whole lot of up and down motion. The shoulders are on a ball joint. They will rotate 360 degrees, although they're somewhat limited laterally. There is a bicep swivel. The elbows are double jointed. The wrists will rotate 360, and the forefingers are on a single hinge joint. There is the waist will rotate. The hips are on rotating ratchets, and also lateral moving ratchets that will rotate about that far. There is a thigh swivel, as I showed you. There's a single hinge joint of the knee, and the ankles are on ball joints. There's not a whole lot of motion flexing up, but everything else is pretty good. As far as his accessories, we'll get to his little guy here, either Pateo or Kotav. Like I said, I think they're identical. We'll take these parts off the back for now, and for his, actually I'll go over his articulation. His head will rotate 360. The shoulders are on a hinge, the elbows are on a ball joint, the hips are on a ball joint, and the knees are actually even on a ball joint, but they only move kind of one direction. The ankles are actually also on a ball joint. For this guy, I'm going to move this so it focuses better. For transformation, you're going to flip the head back, rotate the forearms like that, and then take the shoulders to the back like so. For the midsection, you're going to flip that up, and then his hips back down, and then you're going to rotate the knees. You're going to bend the knees 90 degrees so that the feet actually end up on the back. The feet do connect. There's a little connector there that will tab in, and then the forearms have a little tab here that will peg into the bottom of the foot there. Okay, so you could use this as its sole weapon by taking these bits apart. There's 3 pieces, and you can peg that into that hole there, and then you can attach the rest of these, and they do have a I don't know if you can appreciate, there's a slot on the side of the post. They can only go in one way. And you can have this as a weapon, although it is really nondescript. I think most people will like. I already have the other one transformed. They basically are symmetrical, and what you do is take this part and peg it in, or tab it in to this guy on this side and this guy on this side, and there you have a hammer, which is actually a really cool hammer, I think. And he can, of course, hold it in his fist, or you can even have him just put his hand on it like that. As far as his other accessories, we do have these cannons that we already showed you. I'm just going to, they do slide into these back panels here for kind of a weaponized mode, like so. He has his double-barreled laser. And also his sword. And then we also have the crown that will fit on his head, and it's very sharp, so when you're putting it on, be careful. So that's Severo and his sort of, with just about all of his accessories. We have one left to show you, and we do have here his throne. Now, I didn't know how I felt about the throne when they first announced it. I felt that I could probably do without it. Now that I have it in hand, I actually quite like it. The detailing on it is done really well. It does look, it's just done really well. Also, what I do like about it is that it's asymmetrical. I don't know why, but I just like that aspect of it. That's pretty much just the throne. Now, you can attach these cannons to the throne, like so. That is also asymmetrical. Now, to sit Grimlock on the throne, you can see that it has this opening in the back, and that's going to be for his giant head in the back there. I'm going to sit that aside so you can see this real quick. Basically, you're going to rotate the head 360 so that it will fit into that spot. And then you want to bend his hips and his knees. And interpret that how you may, but that'll fit in there like that. To have Grimlock sitting on his throne. And I do think it looks pretty awesome, to be honest. It does fit in there. It's not like locked in or anything, but it is in there pretty well. You can lift it and he really won't move. So like I said, I didn't know how I felt about this throne when it was first announced, but I think for me, when I pick this up, it'll be a must-have. I think it's going to look really good on a display to have them in this throne, because I do believe there is going to be another version, I think, that comes without the throne. One of the drawbacks to the Lost Exorealm Dinobots by Fansproject is that maybe the scale isn't perfect, but that's left up to your interpretation. So in summary, I'll say that I really like this figure and this set, but I am a little biased. I do have an affinity for the Fansproject figures, as well as the other Dinobots in the set, Columpio, Kubrar, and Volar. I'd probably put this up with Columpio as my two favorites, with Kubrar close third and Volar right after them. Once again, I'd like to thank the Chosen Prime for allowing me to review Severo for you. I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Dr. Prime. Thanks for watching. The Doctor is out.